You're working harder than you've ever worked, but somehow you're not getting anywhere. You wake up early, you grind, you sacrifice sleep. You tell yourself, one day it'll pay off. But deep down, something feels wrong, because the harder you work, the less free you feel. You're tired, but not fulfilled, busy, but not progressing. And you've started to wonder, is hard work really the key to success, or the trap that keeps most people broke forever? Here's the truth that most will never face. Hard work alone has never created wealth. Direction has. You've been trained since childhood to believe that effort equals reward, that the more hours you pour in, the more valuable you become. But that's a lie from an outdated system that was never designed to make you rich. Factories needed obedient workers. Schools trained compliance, not creativity. The world rewarded people who could follow orders, not people who could design the game. And so, most people grow up thinking that working more means earning more. But look around. The hardest workers are often the least rewarded. The ones sweating the most are rarely the ones living free. You see it everywhere. People running on treadmills of effort, burning energy but going nowhere, because they never stop to ask the most important question, am I working toward wealth or just working to survive? Napoleon Hill warned about this over a century ago. He said, knowledge is not power, it is only potential power. The application of specialized knowledge is where fortunes are built. That single idea separates the rich from the exhausted. The wealthy don't work harder. They work on things that compound. They focus their energy like a laser, not a floodlight. The average person spreads effort across 1,000 tasks that don't move the needle. The successful person identifies one thing, one area of mastery, and multiplies it. Think of Henry Ford. He wasn't a mechanic. He was a visionary who understood systems. He didn't build cars with his own hands. He built a process that could produce millions of them while he slept. You see, wealth is never a reward for labor alone. It's a reward for leverage, for learning how to multiply results without multiplying exhaustion. But here's the catch. You can't access leverage if your subconscious is programmed to equate work with worth. If every time you rest, you feel guilty, if every time you pause to think, you hear that voice that says, you're being lazy, that voice is the reason you're stuck. It's not your lack of time. It's not your lack of opportunity. It's the conditioning buried deep inside you, the belief that effort equals success. But the mind that builds empires doesn't chase motion. It chases momentum. You've been running in circles. Now it's time to rise above the maze. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine two workers. The first digs with his bare hands from dawn till dusk, drenched in sweat, exhausted. The second spends a week studying the terrain, finds the perfect spot, and builds a machine that digs 1,000 times faster. Who works harder? The first. Who gets rich? The second. Because the universe doesn't reward exhaustion. It rewards effectiveness, and effectiveness comes from clarity. So tonight, as you listen to these words, let this truth begin to settle into your subconscious. You are not here to be busy. You are here to be brilliant. You are not meant to grind yourself into dust-chasing scraps. You are meant to channel your effort into creation. Every minute of mindless effort is a minute stolen from mastery. And mastery begins the moment you stop working harder and start working wiser. You see, the mind that creates wealth is not the mind that seeks to do more. It's the mind that learns how to direct more, how to lead, how to think, how to design systems that function even in your absence. That's what Napoleon Hill meant by specialized knowledge. It's not about knowing everything. It's about knowing one thing so profoundly that the world must pay you for it. So pause for a moment and reflect. What is your one thing? What do you know or could know and so well that it becomes your signature, your edge, your source of leverage? That's where the next chapter of your life begins. Not in more hours, but in deeper focus. Not in burnout, but in brilliance. You've been programmed to survive through effort. Now it's time to reprogram your mind to prosper through intelligence. Because from this night forward, you are not a worker, you are a creator, you are a thinker, you are a director of energy. And as you begin to think like one, your life will shift. Your work will begin to yield more with less struggle. Your mind will attract opportunities aligned with your purpose, and wealth will start moving toward you, not away from you. So let these words begin to sink in. Let them rearrange your beliefs, because this is only the beginning. Take a deep breath. Inhale through your nose. Hold and exhale slowly. Feel your body start to soften. Feel your mind begin to open. Because from this moment forward, we are going to reprogram your relationship with work. Not through effort, but through awareness. Not through more motion, but through mental direction. You've been conditioned to believe that money comes to those who grind the hardest. But the truth is, money flows to those who think the clearest. It does not respond to fatigue. It responds to focus. The wealth you seek is not locked behind more hours. It's locked behind the thoughts you think, the beliefs you hold, and the energy you bring to every decision. So tonight, as your body relaxes and your conscious mind begins to rest, let these affirmations begin to plant themselves in your subconscious, the silent engine that never sleeps. Repeat them silently after me. Let them echo in the spaces of your mind. With affirmations for the wealth creator. I am no longer a prisoner of endless effort. I am a master of intentional action. My time is precious. My energy is sacred. My focus is power. I do not chase money. I attract opportunity through clarity and value. Every thought I think builds my fortune. Every idea I honor multiplies my results. I no longer confuse movement with progress. I move only with purpose. I rest only with intention, and both are part of my creation. I am not a worker. I am a designer of systems. I am a thinker who leads. The world rewards me because I solve meaningful problems with precision and passion. I am guided by wisdom. I act from vision. I am driven by purpose. Every hour I spend now compounds. Every idea I nurture grows roots. Every action I take multiplies its impact. I no longer trade time for money. I trade creativity for freedom. The harder I think, the easier life becomes. The clearer I am, the faster wealth flows to me. I have released guilt around rest. Rest is not laziness. Rest is strategy. Rest sharpens my edge. Rest fuels my vision. I am worthy of wealth that comes with peace. I am worthy of results that feel effortless. I am worthy of success that aligns with who I truly am. Now breathe deeply again. And as you exhale, feel old patterns begin to dissolve. All the conditioning that told you work harder, gone. All the guilt that whispered you're not doing enough, gone. All the fear that said you'll fall behind if you slow down, gone. You are entering a new identity, one where wealth is not a struggle, but a natural extension of thought. You see, the subconscious mind is neutral. It doesn't care whether you plant weeds or flowers. It simply grows what you repeat. If you constantly tell yourself, I have to hustle to survive, it will build a life that proves it true. But when you begin to say, I create wealth through clarity, intelligence, and leverage, your subconscious goes to work rearranging reality to match that belief. That's how every great empire begins, not with more hours, but with a more powerful thought. Andrew Carnegie understood this. He didn't ask men to labor longer. He asked them to think better. He surrounded himself with a mastermind, a group of thinkers whose combined intelligence produced more progress in a month than others achieved in years. That is the secret you must now internalize. You were never meant to do it all alone. Wealth is a team sport. Power multiplies in association. So as you drift into the rhythm of these words, imagine this. You are no longer a lone worker struggling in isolation. You are surrounded by brilliant minds, partners, mentors, collaborators who align with your purpose. Together, you create value effortlessly. Together, you build systems that earn even while you rest. This is leverage, and leverage is the language of the wealthy. Imagine your future self, calm, focused, in command. They don't run from task to task. They think strategically. They delegate intelligently. They multiply every action through systems, automation, and partnerships. And as you visualize this version of yourself, let the following truths sink in deeply. I no longer identify with struggle. I identify with creation. I no longer chase results. I attract them by design. I no longer equate exhaustion with worth. My worth is inherent. I do not need to prove myself. I only need to express myself. The universe universe rewards my clarity. The world mirrors my inner order. Let these words become your new default programming. From this night forward, your subconscious will begin to reject unnecessary labor. It will guide you toward precision, delegation, and strategic creation. It will push you to think instead of react, to design instead of endure. And each morning you will wake with a deeper knowing that your value lies not in how hard you work, but in how clearly you think, that your income expands in proportion to your insight, that your time is the most valuable asset you possess, and every minute spent in alignment multiplies in return. So as you fall deeper into this relaxed state, imagine your subconscious as fertile soil. Each affirmation, each belief, each visualization is a seed. And tonight, you are planting a new garden, a garden of wealth, peace, and purpose. The old roots of exhaustion are being pulled out. The weeds of guilt and overwork are being burned away. And in their place, new growth begins. Calm, confident, creative growth. You are no longer a slave to time. You are the architect of it. You are no longer caught in the illusion of hard work. You are rising into the mastery of intelligent creation. You are not waiting for success. You are becoming it. Let's go deeper. Tonight, you will reprogram the way you see effort forever. Because the truth is simple. If your effort doesn't multiply, it's wasted. Every hour you spend should create ripple effects, not exhaustion. Every action should outlive the moment it was taken. That is the principle of leverage, the invisible bridge between average income and lasting wealth. Look at those who built empires: Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, Thomas Edison. They all understood one timeless law: the power of leverage. Carnegie didn't mine iron with his own hands. Ford didn't assemble every car. Edison didn't wire every bulb. They learned to multiply themselves through people, systems, and ideas. That's what wealth really is, not money, but magnification. Now listen carefully. You are not rewarded for how much you do. You are rewarded for how much your doing produces. The world does not pay for effort. It pays for impact. And here's the good news. The moment your mind truly understands this, everything begins to change. You stop saying, "I don't have enough time," and start asking, "How can I multiply this time?" You stop saying, "I can't do it all," and start asking, "Who or what can help me do it better?" That single shift in thought transforms exhaustion into empowerment. Napoleon Hill called it the mastermind principle, the fusion of multiple minds into one higher intelligence. He wrote that no single person ever amassed a great fortune without consciously or unconsciously applying this law. Why? Because the human mind, when harmonized with others of similar purpose, becomes exponentially more powerful. That's why you must let go of the lone worker mentality, the idea that you must do it all, that no one understands your vision, that you're the only one who can. That belief is not strength. It's scarcity. It's fear, disguised as pride. And it's the fastest road to burnout. But wealth lives where minds collaborate, where ideas multiply, where systems free you to think rather than labor. So, imagine your life from now on as a network of multiplying forces. Every project you start connects to another that sustains it. Every task you automate gives you time back to create. Every relationship you nurture becomes a bridge to greater opportunity. You are no longer the worker inside the machine. You are the designer of it. You now begin to see the invisible gears of your life, the patterns, the habits, the routines, and you ask, "How can I make these work without me?" This is how you move from employee to entrepreneur, from doer to director, from tired to timeless. Because when you master leverage, you master time itself. Time stops being something you run out of. It becomes something you expand, and that expansion begins in your mind. Now, let's go deeper with new affirmations. Affirmations of mastery, leadership, and leverage. Repeat them silently, letting them imprint in your subconscious. Affirmations of leverage and leadership. I am the master of my time. I am the designer of systems that multiply value. My work creates results that outlive my effort. Every decision I make builds upon the last, compounding success. I think like a leader. I move like a strategist. I act like a creator of infinite possibilities. I am surrounded by powerful allies. Together we think, build, and prosper. I no longer chase tasks. I choose priorities. I no longer labor endlessly. I build systems that labor for me. Every idea I nurture becomes an asset. Every action I take is multiplied by structure, intention, and clarity. I no longer seek permission to rest. Rest is part of creation. Stillness is where I refine my vision. I am a calm architect of abundance. I am a deliberate designer of destiny. The world adjusts to my clarity. Circumstances rearrange themselves to match my focus. Let these affirmations soak deeply into your subconscious, because what you believe about work determines how you live your life. The world teaches exhaustion. The mind of wealth teaches elevation. The poor man says, I must work harder. The rich man says, I must think higher. The poor mind asks, what can I do? The rich mind asks, how can I make it happen through others, through systems, through structure? This is not laziness. This is intelligence in motion. This is the invisible law behind every enduring fortune. And as you accept this new pattern of thinking, your subconscious will begin to align your actions automatically. You will start noticing opportunities to simplify, to delegate, to automate, to step back and lead instead of strain, because your inner world dictates your outer world. When your mind believes in leverage, your life begins to mirror that belief. You'll meet the right people. You'll discover the right tools. You'll attract the right timing. Because the subconscious has one mission: to make your dominant thought your reality. So repeat once more. I no longer confuse effort with value. I no longer worship exhaustion. I no longer need to prove my worth through struggle. I now multiply through clarity, creativity, and collaboration. Now imagine this future clearly. You wake up with a calm mind and a precise plan. You work less, but earn more. You spend more time thinking than reacting. You operate with power, not pressure. And as you drift deeper into this mental image, understand this one unshakable truth. The quality of your thought determines the quality of your wealth. That is Napoleon Hill's greatest secret. That is the invisible law that governs all success. When your thinking becomes refined, focused, and directed, the universe moves mountains for you. From this moment, let that law become the new operating system of your mind. You are no longer programmed for survival. You are programmed for design, direction, and dominion. Now breathe deeply. Inhale power. Exhale the past. You've traveled far tonight, from the exhaustion of blind effort to the clarity of intelligent creation. And now, it's time to seal this transformation into your subconscious, permanently. Because the truth is this: wealth isn't something you chase. It's something you build from within. You are about to design the blueprint, the internal architecture that will shape your destiny. This is the part most never do. They work without design, they build without plans, but you will not make that mistake. So, imagine this vividly in your mind's eye. Before you stands a vast, empty canvas, the blueprint of your life. You are the architect. Every thought you think, every belief you reinforce, every decision you make becomes a line, a shape, a structure in this design. Look at it carefully. What do you want it to contain? Freedom of time, wealth that grows while you sleep, work that feels like purpose, not pressure, relationships that elevate and inspire you, peace in your mind, even as abundance flows. All of it is possible, but only when designed with precision. Napoleon Hill said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But few ever truly conceive their future in detail. They wish vaguely and wonder why nothing changes. You, however, will now conceive it specifically. Because clarity is not optional, it's the oxygen of creation. So begin building your blueprint now in the quiet of your mind. Now, step 1, define the destination. Whisper this silently: I know exactly what I want. See it, the lifestyle, the environment, the level of peace and power you desire. Don't hold back. Don't shrink. Describe it in your mind as though you're already living it. What does your morning look like? What kind of work do you do? Not what drains you, but what expresses you. How do people speak to you? How do you move through your day? Calm, directed, assured? Now lock that image in. Let it feel real. Step 2, create the system. Say to yourself, I no longer live by reaction, I live by design. The poor man reacts, the wealthy man designs. Every successful person has systems that serve their goals automatically. You will too. Imagine building systems that run while you rest. Business systems, financial systems, health systems, learning systems. Each one multiplying quietly, faithfully in the background. Your effort no longer drains you. It directs energy into these systems that continue to serve long after the action is taken. You are now a builder of momentum, not a consumer of time. Repeat silently, everything I create works for me. My systems multiply my results. My time compounds because I direct it with precision. To step 3, anchor the identity. Wealth is not about what you do. It's about who you are while you do it. So tonight, we install a new identity, the identity of a calm, confident, strategic creator. The identity of someone who never works for money again, but allows money to work for them. Repeat after me, slowly and with power. I am a visionary. I am a builder. I am a thinker of uncommon thoughts. My work is an expression of purpose, not desperation. I no longer chase opportunity. Opportunity seeks me out because I am aligned, disciplined, and decisive. I am not exhausted. I am energized by my mission. I no longer work to survive. I work to serve. I work to expand. I work to fulfill the purpose placed within me by divine design. Wealth flows through me easily because I operate by universal law, not by fear. I'm not controlled by time. I command it. I'm not trapped by effort. I direct it. I'm not limited by circumstance. I shape it. My results mirror my inner order, and my inner order is now one of peace, power, and purpose. Step 4, the final installation, the night command. Now that your conscious mind has heard, felt, and believed, your subconscious will begin its work. While you sleep, it will rearrange your beliefs, dissolve old patterns, and rewire your habits to align with this new way of living. From tonight onward, you will begin to act differently, effortlessly. You'll wake up with clearer decisions. You'll know what to do and what not to do. You'll recognize distractions immediately and release them without guilt. You'll notice that what once felt heavy now feels guided. And money, opportunities, ideas, results will begin to move toward you. Because your vibration, your frequency, your mental blueprint has changed. Your new command is simple and absolute. From this night forward, I no longer work like the poor. I think, move, and create like the wealthy. I am no longer bound by labor. I am liberated by design. Let that sink deep. Let it echo. Let it take root. You are now one decision away from a new life, a life where wealth is not the reward for exhaustion, but the reflection of alignment. This is the invisible law of success. That thought creates form. That clarity creates control. That inner direction creates outer wealth. So as you drift into sleep, affirm this one last truth. I am the master of my destiny. I am the architect of my results. I am the calm within creation, the thinker behind the motion, the designer behind the fortune. Breathe deeply one last time. Inhale abundance. Exhale limitation. Your subconscious has heard. It is now rewriting your patterns. Every night you return to this state, the programming deepens. Every day that follows, your life aligns closer to your design. You are done working for the illusion of progress. You now create from purpose, precision, and power. Sleep now, peacefully, knowing that wealth is already being built within you. Because wealth was never about how hard you work. It was always about how clearly you think.